Raja Talha Sarfaraz. Raja Talha Sarfaraz. Lordship, before starting, it was asked about a high resolution video. So should we start with that, and then I'll start my arguments?
Yes, please.
My lord, I just want to clarify on the video. I brought my laptop and my phone because it can't be transferred. The compression reduces the clarity. So I have the frame by frame on my phone, and I have the high resolution video on my laptop. So I can hand over that laptop, and the frame by frame can be seen by Mr. Rao Abdur Rahim on my phone.
I would advise you against handing over your phone.
My lord, I'll
and
hold
laptop.
my phone myself and just show him in court, because I've taken the pictures frame by frame which show the number plate.
Can you also show to the court?
My lord, on my laptop and on my phone, because if I transfer it onto this, my lord, I'll just hand my phone to the court first, so the court can see there's a series of images. You just have to scroll right and zoom into them.
I need to scroll right.
My lord, you have to
Even
first
this one?
zoom into it, and then you zoom out and scroll right and zoom into the next one. There are 4 or 5 different angles.
I still can't read the number.
My lord, I have very weak eyesight, but even I can see in the 4 from the different angles. It's ALA 356, and I've taken stills on my laptop that might be easier to view.
I think it would.
And I have the high resolution video on this as well. There's 4 different angles. This is one picture.
Yeah, it can still be disputed, Ms. Mazari, unless, a forensic person looks at it, which is something that the commission would be able to, rather than taking the view that this is it. They'll also...
My lord, but just, it's clear as day what the number plate is.
It's not to me, I don't understand it. Maybe my eyes, I don't think it has gone that bad yet.
My lord, with my terrible eyesight, I can see in all of the images.
You might be far.
But my lord, this is a task for the commission. The commission will have an IT expert if so formed.
Exactly.
We can provide this.
They would have ways and means of enhancing the resolution to a point beyond dispute.
But my lord, in the event that, for example, I was asked if this was my car, I would have no hesitation in giving an affidavit where this is not my car. That affidavit has not been provided for a reason.
देखिए, Miss Mazari, again, I don't know when I am veering off into the realm of the commission and when I am staying in the realm of a constitutional court. This would be one where I'd be veering off, because they would then also say, this must be forensically examined also. All those questions. The point that you have made is that according to you, Mr. Shiraz is visible in that video.
My lord.
By the way, is Mr. Shiraz here?
I believe he is here today, my lord. I believe he is here today.
Is he here?
Shiraz Ahmed.
He was present. I saw him
You saw
outside
him,
the court.
then he may be here. So, and that you say that this is Mr. Rao's car?
Because, my lord, Mr. Rao has conceded that the number plate is of his car. He's just saying he can't see the picture or the video.
Did he concede that?
He stated that. He said that that's on the stream. He said ALA 356 is my car registration, but I cannot see the video clearly. That was his statement at the bar.
Let's ask him if he can see it clearly. आप शिराज हैं?
जी सर।
अच्छा शिराज, आप इन्होंने जो वीडियो दिखाई है उसमें आप नज़र आ रहे हैं उस लड़के को लेके जाते हुए।
सर मैंने भी देखी थी सोशल मीडिया पे जो वीडियो चल रही थी तो उसमें सच को मुझे अक्स नज़र आ रहा है, कोई बंदा मेरे से मुशाबहत रखता है
तो आप
ना वो वीडियो में।
आप वो नहीं है?
नहीं वो मैं नहीं हूँ सर।
आप ही के एफिडेविट बस दे दें।
जी मैं दे दूँगा सर।
जमा करा दें
जी डन।
कि ही इज़ फाइल आप भी एफिडेविट। और आप क्या राव साहब कह रहे हैं कि ये गाड़ी
जो नंबर बताया जा रहा है
वो है
मेरे नाम पे रजिस्टर्ड है, ये गाड़ी वो नहीं
अच्छा,
है।
ये
गाड़ी की एविडेंस मैंने आपको कहा था कि
आपसे
मैं अपनी टर्म पे दे देता हूं।
आपसे नंबर पढ़ा जा रहा है?
जी मुझे नहीं पढ़ा नहीं गया, इन्होंने मुझे बताया था कि ये नंबर ये है, यहाँ पे बोला गया था, तो वो जो नंबर बोला गया था वो मेरे नाम पे रजिस्टर्ड है, लेकिन ये गाड़ी वो नहीं है।
आप भी एफिडेविट दे दीजिए कि ये गाड़ी मेरी नहीं है, बस खत्म हो जाएगी। ठीक है, we will leave it at that.
My
So
lord.
I will record this point and
My
move on from there. चलिए तला साहब।
Lordship, before starting into the details of the cases, I have prepared a presentation to differentiate between groups, accounts and pages of Facebook.
माइक नीचे करो, ये बीच में।
So Lordship, this is a guide to Facebook usership. Once you approach the Facebook, this is the display that you found. So if you want to log in, you have to add either your email address or your phone number, then the password, and then you can log in. In the next slide, an ID has been logged in, and that's how the display is of a Facebook ID. And there you can see that there is also a logout button. You can click on it and then the ID will be logged in. This is the Facebook account. And Lordship, this is the groups. Like there is suggestion of the groups. Groups are of two types. Either it is a private group or it is a public group. If you want to be part of a private group, you have to send a request, and once accepted, you can be part of that group. So for example,
It's understood.
yeah, so we have also shown that this is the group, and now the person is part of that group. So once he is part of the group, he can communicate with any member of that group through the Facebook Messenger. Now this is a page, Islamabad page, and this is the chat. So a member has been contacted through Facebook Messenger, and this is the chat between them. And Lordship, the third thing that was discussed is a Facebook page. A Facebook page is public. Anyone can click on the follow button and you can see whatever is posted on the Facebook. So there are three things: account, group and page. Account is private, group can either be private or public, and the page is always public. Then Lordship, this is the Meta official policy regarding the request and everything. I'll discuss briefly. So Lordship, we asked that what is a government data request. There is the detail in it that a government agency approached them for the account detail, and then the detail is given to the relevant government agency. Then there is a global overview in which they tell that how many requests were requested. So basically, after 2013, after every 6 months, the data is made public of every country who requested the number of the accounts and the information that was given by the Facebook to that particular country. So I have the reports from 2019 to 2024. The ratio of the response to Pakistan is more than the one that is average to other countries. So like the average response is 78%, whereas to the Pakistan government request it is 82%. Lordship, now this is when it was asked that who reviews the government request. So they have the legal experts who request the who basically see that request and then analyze it. These are the overall reports. I just want to mention one case study here. Yes, Lordship. So this is an African state, and there were certain Facebook posts that were violating the local law of that country. They requested Facebook, and Facebook removed the access of that particular data in that particular country. Then we have further two case studies of Germany, where there is a law that you cannot ridicule a politician. Germany requested Facebook to remove all that content. Facebook stated, although it is not against our guidelines, but the access to that data will be restricted within the territorial jurisdiction of Germany. And same happened in India. There was in Karnataka state, there was something that was posted, although it was not against the guideline of the Facebook, but the access of it was restricted within the state of Karnataka. Then, Lordship, the Deputy Director of the FIE stated that it is part of their SOPs that they do not carry out the forensic of the complainant. Lordship, this is a complete PPT, as well as I have the printouts in which we have in detail explained why the forensic of the complainant is necessary. I'll just give one example out of it. I will not get into the more technical details.
No. This is the technical. This technical detail is actually the meat of this case, Raja sir. So you have to spend time on this.
Sure, Your Lordship.
This is exactly the area which, because if it is technical and requires some effort at understanding, that the courts and the system avoids it.
So, Lordship, there are three things that we will discuss in this. First is URL, second is IP addresses, and third is hashes. The most important of them is the hashes. So URL, what is the purpose of URL? It identifies that a thing was uploaded. So what is the precise location of that particular resource? The precise location of that. And the IP address verify the device that was used. And lots of the internet service providers, if they can correlate the data of the IPs to exactly pinpoint the location through which or from where the content was actually uploaded. Lordship, firstly we will discuss the uniform resource locator, that is the URL. So URL define how and where a resource is accessed, let's say a Facebook page or a message, a web page. So the structured protocol is that it is made up of three parts. First is the protocol, that is HTTP or something like that. Then we have the domain, for example www.facebook.com or Gmail or any email. And then the path that suggests the specific product that was accessed on that site. So we have also given the example below. Now, what is the importance of the URL in forensic? So, Lordship, during any web activity, the investigators can actually look into the URL to track firstly the user behavior, like what sort of data was actually being accessed by that specific user, and the access patterns. Then they can carry out the hash of that URL. Now, what is the hash thing? If the hash is collected of a particular data, it gives us a value, and the value is very, very specific. So if even a little tampering is done in the evidence and again the hash is collected, it will be totally different than the initial hash. So it's like the fingerprint of the person. There cannot be two identical hashes. Then what's up the IP addresses? IP addresses is to identify the network devices. There are two types of IPs. One is the static IP that is normally with the broadband or that we have the Wi-Fi, and then there is dynamic IP that is mainly changing. It is normally associated to the mobile data. However, it's not that it is continuously changing. Like when we are talking about a particular event, there can be a handful of the IPs and the exact one can be tracked by the investigation agency. So what's the relevance in the evidence? It is used to identify from where the request was originated. There are exact timestamps. So let's say if a message was sent at 1:13 p.m., there will be an exact time span of 1:13 p.m. there. So the forensic expert can actually map a digital behavior of that particular person.
But he would need analytical tools and software to do that. Manually it can't be done.
Yes, Lord, sir.
So I wonder if CIA has those tools.
Lord, sir, they say that they have the most recent tools for that.
No, to be able to access and catalog the traffic data at the ISP's side.
So they can answer.
Not the device side. I get you.
So Lordship, this is again related to the ISP, that is the internet service providers. They have the...
This is known.
Okay. So yeah, this is the hash function. Lordship, hashes are generated by some cryptographic hash function data, like you give a...
which is also known.
Okay. Should I talk about this or move on?
What, you are explaining how data integrity can be tracked all along the path. Right. I don't think that is a disputed question at all.
Lots of the dispute is that it has not been collected by the agency, which is actually casting the doubt that if it would have been collected, it would be very clear that who has actually shared that particular content.
Yes, that is a matter related not to the technical aspects of these matters, but that is a choice that the investigation agent continues to make. And that is what needs to be examined. Why is it entirely in the discretion of the IO? And why is it not a standard SOP for the complainant's device as well as the complainant's traffic data to be analyzed wherever the accused takes the defense of entrapment? Right. So this is something which is a matter of investigative SOPs, and the commission, if it is formed, ought to look at it in greater detail. And until then, FIA will also tell us why in digital evidence cases these SOPs have not been modified yet, after so much noise also. With 348 cases being registered, why haven't they on their own taken the initiative to realize that there is a possible loophole here, so let's close it?
So Lord, should I discuss this or should I move towards the case?
No, move on.
Okay. Lordship, I have tried to make it as precise as possible, so I will be discussing only 5 cases. So the first one of that is, so Lordship, the issue in this was that the person was arrested at 8:35 p.m. The person was arrested at 8:35 p.m. However, for the very first time, the Facebook ID was logged into his phone was at 9:29 p.m. 1 hour after the arrest. For the very first, I have also attached the relevant page from the forensic, the technical report of that.
Where does it show the time of arrest?
Lordship, the page is page number 3.
Page number 3 is barely legible.
Lordship, the other logins, where there is other logins.
Yes.
Yes, Lordship, now you can see that Android phone was using that particular ID. The first time it was logged into the TechnoSpark, the phone of the accused is at 21:28, that is 9:28 and 9:29 above. and he was arrested at 8:35.
So this is at 9:29. Log in. But already arrested at
8:35
AM or PM?
p.m.
Okay.
So Lordship, when the person was granted bail by the Honorable Islamabad High Court, on the very next day, his father, when he came out of the mosque, he was beaten by certain people and said that you should not appear in the court. So the very same day, an application came from the side of the prosecution that the bail of the accused be cancelled if it does not appear in the court. The very day. I am not aware that how was the prosecution able to understand this thing, that there are some chances that the accused will not present in the court. And a death note was hanged in front of his house. I have also attached the picture on page number 4. So that he does not appear. The same issue was requested with the trial court, but the trial court stated that if he does not appear before 3 p.m. today, his bail will be cancelled right away. Now, Lordship, in this particular case, there was a delay of 1 hour. Now, I'll move towards the second case, where the delay is even greater. So, Lordship, if we can come towards the page number 6, that is another FIR. And the FIR is registered on 24th of July 2023. On the very next page, page number 7, we have also annexed the application. The date on the application is also the same, that is 24th of July 2023. Now, Lordship, interestingly, the phone was confiscated from the accused 5 days prior to the submission of the application even. On the very next page is the statement, page number 8. So, Lordship, on page number 8, we have the statement. There are 2 witnesses of the seizure memo when the mobile phone was seized from the accused. So, if we can see the third last line of the statement, it says that the mobile phone was recovered on 19th of July 2023. That is 5 days prior to the application and registration of the FIR. On the page number 9, we have the statement of the second witness. There are only 2 witnesses. He also stated that the mobile phone was recovered on 19/7, that is 5 days prior.
This is the same Mudassar Shah who also investigated Rao Abdul Rahim's case?
We are talking about the IU?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord sir.
I think-
He is the same IU.
Yeah, the name cropped up in discussion.
Yeah, he is the same IU.
आगे चलो.
Then Lord sir.
How is it explained?
Lord sir,
How was it? Has the trial started?
Lord sir, the trial has started and sadly the bail has been even rejected from both the courts.
So how was this point addressed in that judicial order?
Lord sir, in the High Court when it was asked, there was no explanation to this fact. The IU was there, present during the bail hearing.
How did the IU explain?
He said
कि
that-
फोन जो है वो मैंने कब्जे में इस्तगासे और FIR से 5 दिन कबल सीजर मेमो के तहत ले लिया था.
There was no explanation from the side of the IU. That's the thing. Lord sir.
How can there be no explanation for this?
There was no. Although the counsel of the complainant stated that it is a technical error. How can there be a technical error on the statement of 2 witnesses?
What do you mean technical error?
They say that it was a clerical error, sorry, while writing. How can it happen to both of the statements? The only statement.
Did the court see the investigation report?
Yes, and it was same in the investigation report. The IU was not able to answer this question.
So what happened in the bail application before the
It
High
was
Court?
dismissed, Lordship.
Also dismissed there. I would like to see, was this point discussed in the bail order?
Yes, Lord. No, it was not. There was no ground discussed. It was a generic order.
आगे चलिए.
Lordship, then on page number 10 we have another case.
Which bench was it?
Page number 10, Lordship.
Which bench was it?
In the Islamabad High Court, it was the bench of Honorable Justice Al-Baqai.
आगे चलिए. Up page.
Lordship, page number 10.
Yeah.
So, Lordship, it is another case, and the person, the accused in it, was in Dubai for the past 2.5 years. So, he landed in Pakistan. On page number 11, I have annexed the pages of the passport where there is the actual stamp. So, Lordship, he landed on 16th of April 2024, and the very next day, that is the morning of the next day, he landed at night. An FIR was registered there and then, and he was arrested there and then. A person who was not even in the country, and I'm not even like. Passport pictures on page number 11.
So, what's wrong with that?
Lordship, now when a person is residing in some other country, the issue is that if per se that there was some offense committed, how is it that possible that within the moment of 10 hours the FIA was alerted, the FIR was registered, and the same person was arrested? I cannot find a link that how within the period of 10 hours this can be ascertained that this is the
So
culprit.
when was the complaint received by the FIA?
Same day, Lordship. So that is 17/4.
My application.
Lordship, it's not annexed. I can provide it later on. I try to keep it very
आप
precise.
कह रहे हैं कि उसी दिन कंप्लेंट रजिस्टर हुई,
Yes.
मतलब कंप्लेंट फाइल हुई, उसी दिन FIR हो गई, कोई वेरिफिकेशन और इंक्वायरी उसमें नहीं की गई और उसको अरेस्ट कर दिया.
अरेस्ट कर लिया. तो 2 साल से किसी और मुल्क में.
और यानी उसका एक फ़ोन पहले एग्जामिन, उसको अरेस्ट करके उसका फ़ोन एग्जामिन किया.
जी.
ठीक.
Lordship, moving towards the next case, that is page number 13. So, Lordship, what happened that an FIR was registered 2nd of March 2023 at 12:30 p.m. The only thing that was recovered during the arrest was a mobile phone, a button mobile phone, Nokia buttons mobile phone, on which no Facebook, WhatsApp, anything cannot be accessed.
Nokia phone recovered.
Yeah, Lordship, the main,
But it's not a smartphone.
No, not
What do you call it? A button phone.
a button phone. Yes, Lordship. The seizure memo is on page number 14.
No, but I think button phones you can also access.
In this phone, you cannot access.
So it did not have Wi-Fi.
No,
And why could not it access it on the mobile network?
yes, Lordship. There's only the you can do the message, the text message, or the call. So, Lordship, what happened that now at this stage, the Facebook ID was being associated to this person. When it was during the bail argument, it was questioned from the IO, what evidence do you have? So he stated that the accused provided him with the password of that ID, so that establishes that the ID is his. So I have a humble submission here. If I stated before this that if I make an ID of anyone's name and I go to FIA and say that this is the ID and this is the password, I will be providing the password. How can this particular fact that someone has provided the password is the nexus between the ID and the person? Lordship, but there is more interesting thing that's coming ahead.
पुराना तरीका है कि आपका पिस्तौल आप पुलिस खुद प्रोड्यूस करती है, अनलाइसेंसी पिस्तौल है, और वो क्या उसको बोलते हैं आप, प्लांटेड रिकवरी।
जी,
ये तो पाकिस्तान हमेशा से बड़े सगीर में हो रहा है। प्लांटेड रिकवरी का केस है।
Yes, Lordship. But Lordship, I will also in the next upcoming argument in this case, I'll show you some superpowers that were exercised by the FIA. So now the FIR is registered at 12:30.
एक second, counsel, you are going too fast.
Sorry, Lordship. So, Lordship, now what happened next is that the FIR is registered at 12:30 p.m. So he was arrested somewhere. Then as per the Chalhan, a warrant was taken from the court for to have a check at the place, the home, the residence of the accused. So now, keeping it in mind, the FIA's office is here in Islamabad. There would be some time taken by them to acquire the warrant, the search warrant, and then they travelled around 4 hours to the place, the house in Jhelum, where they conducted a raid, the search, and then it would have taken them some 4 hours to come back, and then they would have to prepare for a technical report for that purpose. Now, interestingly, all this
doesn't take 4 hours to get to jail.
No, not at the exact address. We can Google map where the person lives. So, Lordship, all this exercise, arrest, taking the search warrant, traveling, raiding, coming back, then doing that, the technical analysis of the phone, all this happened within the time period of 10 to 11 hours. Same date. I personally am not able to understand that how is that even possible, but this is the case here.
So the FIR was registered at 12:30 hour.
Yes, Lord.
And on what basis are you calculating forward the time of 10 to 11 hours? To what
Lordship,
event?
from 12:30 to the night of that, because the date changes after 12.
I know.
Because the date on everything is same. That is the date of the registration of the FIR.
Is the 2nd of March.
Yeah, that is 2nd of March.
And then after that, what is the event after 10 hours that you are referring to, which would take us to about 11 p.m. that you link it back with this? What happened at 11 p.m.?
In that 11 hours, the search warrant was taken.
भाई आप 11 नहीं, आप कह रहे हैं वो 11 पीएम के ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई या कोई इवेंट होएगा ना जहाँ से आप वर्क बैक कर रहे हैं कि ये सारी चीज़ें हो गई हैं।
लॉर्डशिप 12 के बाद तो डेट ही चेंज हो जाएगी ना, तो इस पे डेट हर चीज़ पे 2nd of March लिखी हुई है।
ये 12:30 आवर्स जो है
ये दिन के हैं।
एग्जैक्टली ये नून हो गए
जी,
10-11 घंटे, रात के 11 बज गए।
रात के 12 के बाद डेट 3 हो जाती।
3 को क्या हुआ?
नहीं, 3 को से पहले इन्होंने 2 का सारा इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर ली ना, उसको एक्यूज में उसके फ़ोन भी रिकवर
आप ये कहाँ से टाइम उठा रहे हैं कि जनाब ये करके वापस भी आ गए?
लॉर्डशिप, अगर टेक्निकल एनालिसिस 12 के बाद चेंज होती तो उसके टेक्निकल एनालिसिस पे डेट लिखी होती 3rd of March, उस पर डेट 2nd of March ही है। मैं थोड़ा सा दोबारा
फ़ोन का टेक्निकल एनालिसिस भी उसी दिन हो
उसी
गया?
दिन सब कुछ उसी दिन हुआ लॉर्डशिप।
वो टेक्निकल के फोरेंसिक?
No, technical. The technical report.
Which is the much detailed exercise.
No, which is the naked eye view.
Basic. ये क्यों नहीं हो सकता?
लॉर्ड साहब, पहली बात इसलिए नहीं हो सकता कि जब इन्होंने एक बंदे को अरेस्ट किया तो उसके पास तो बटन फ़ोन था, तो ये तो इस्टेब्लिश ही नहीं कर सकते थे कि वो फेसबुक आईडी इसके ऊपर है, ठीक है। लेकिन फिर भी मान लिया इन्होंने, एक जगह से वो लिया, वारंट लिया, वारंट लेने में भी टाइम लगेगा। उसके बाद जेलम गए, जेलम जा
क्या करने गए?
सर्च कंडक्ट की। जेलम उसका घर है ना, वहाँ से मोबाइल फ़ोन रिकवर हुए हैं।
मोबाइल फ़ोन वहाँ से रिकवर
जी
हुए हैं?
जी, जो इन्होंने
यानी एक से ज़्यादा मोबाइल फ़ोन?
जी जी, जो बाद में गिरफ्तारी के टाइम एक बटन फ़ोन था उसके पास।
अच्छा, ठीक। अच्छा जी।
और डॉक्टर इसमें एक और मसला है कि वो जो फ़ोन बकौल इनके इन्होंने वहाँ से रिकवर किए हैं, उसकी ऑनरशिप का भी कोई एविडेंस नहीं है, क्योंकि जो 2 मोबाइल फ़ोन सिम्स ये इससे एसोसिएट कर
ट्रायल की बात है, ये ट्रायल की बात है।
ठीक। लॉर्ड साहब, एक और लास्ट ये है, ये बिकॉज हमें लेटर ऑन ये हमने ढूंढा, तो आई विल बी प्रोवाइडिंग दिस कॉपी। अच्छा, ये FIR है 73/2022 इन विच राव अब्दुल रहीम इज द कंप्लेनेंट। अब बाकी तो मुझे नहीं किसी और केस में पता, लेकिन इसमें इन्होंने अपना वो स्पेन वाला फ़ोन नंबर दिया है। लास्ट पेज पे एप्लीकेशन लगी हुई है, उसकी पहली लाइन में है जो व्हाट्सएप नंबर दिया हुआ है कि साइल के व्हाट्सएप नंबर पर, दिस इज़ द स्पेन फ़ोन। नाउ लॉर्डशिप, दिस इज़ द फोरेंसिक रिपोर्ट, दैट इज़ द सेकंड लास्ट पेज नंबर। आई ऑल्सो हाईलाइटेड द
एक
पार्ट।
सेकेंड, इन लिंक्स को साहिल ने क्लिक किया तो साहिल मुख्तलिफ व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स का लाइल्मी में खुद ब खुद मेंबर बन गया।
जी,
लाइल्मी में कैसे आप मेंबर बन जाते हैं? आप अगर है भी तो आप उसी को, तो उसको छोड़ भी सकते हैं।
एग्जैक्टली, यू कैन रिमूव। लॉट्स ऑफ आप लिंक पे क्लिक करते हैं और अगर आपको ग्रुप ज्वाइन होता है तो आप डायरेक्टली उस ग्रुप में जाते हैं, उसी की चार्ट खुल जाती है। ऐसा नहीं होता कि आप ऐड हो जाए आपको पता ही ना चला। बट लॉट्स ऑफ जो मैं पॉइंट इसमें इस्टेब्लिश करना चाहता हूँ,
लेकिन ये तो कह रही है कि चले मेंबर बन गया, लेकिन मुझे एक्चुअली ये मैसेजेस रिसीव हुए।
नहीं, मैं लॉट्स एक और पॉइंट यहाँ पे इस्टेब्लिश करना चाहता हूँ। ये देखें, एप्लीकेशन में वो कह रहे हैं राव अब्दुल रहीम के ये मेरा नंबर है। अब इससे एक जो पिछला पेज अगर आप उस पर आ जाएँ, ये राव अब्दुल रहीम का मोबाइल फ़ोन का फोरेंसिक है और
इसमें स्पेन नंबर है।
जी, इसमें नंबर यही है, लेकिन असल मसला वो नहीं है। आप अगर नेम देखें तो नेम क्या है इनका? बिस्मा,
जो इनको इनके कज़न ने ला के दिया था,
बकौल इनके। जी, लेकिन इस्तेमाल ये कह रहे हैं, मैं कर रहा हूँ एप्लीकेशन में लिखा मेरा नंबर है। अब ये बिस्मा कौन है, जो व्हाट्सएप पे इनका नाम था, ये वो बेहतर बता सकते हैं।
अच्छा आगे
लॉर्ड से मेरे केसेस जो हैं ये थे, इसमें मेरे कंक्लूड मैंने कर लिया। मैं सिर्फ एक और पॉइंट यहाँ पे लॉर्ड से प्रेस करना चाहता हूँ कि दिस इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड प्रिंसिपल इन क्रिमिनल लॉ, अ पर्सन इज कंसिडर्ड इनोसेंट अंटिल प्रूवन गिल्टी। अब मसला ये है कि इन केसेस में जिसको भी अरेस्ट किया जाता है उसको जेल में सर्कल 4 में रखा जाता है, जो कि डेथ सेल के प्रिजनर्स के जेल है। अब उसमें 8x12 का कमरा होता है और उसमें 8 लोग उसके अंदर मौजूद हैं, जहाँ अंदर ही वॉशरूम सब कुछ उसी जगह पे होता है। तो अब ये अंडर ट्रायल प्रिजनर्स हैं, इनको थोड़ा तो ह्यूमेन बिहेवियर शो करना चाहिए। जब सज़ा हो जाए फिर तो रखें वहाँ पर डेथ सेल में, सज़ा होने से पहले अभी दे आर इनोसेंट, उनको डेथ सेल में रखा जा रहा है. Lots of that's my submissions. Thank you for the patience here.
Thank you, Counsel. Thank you. So, then who's next? Ms. Mazari, do you want to avail your 15 minutes today?
My lord, if I could do so tomorrow at the beginning of the hearing, I only require 15 minutes.
Tomorrow may not be possible. Then the case will now be on Monday.
My lord, I'll just take 15 minutes.
ठीक है. So then we'll take up the case on. अब तंबोली साहब रहेंगे ना?
My lord, Tamboli Sahab also.
मैं कल आ जाऊँ.
कल केस पॉसिबल नहीं हो सकेगा तंबोली साहब.
अभी मेरे सर डीपी में कुछ मैटर्स हैं. अभी डीपी नंबर 4 में 12 बजे.
तो मंडे को आप फिर करें बहस, और हम कोशिश करेंगे कि उसी दिन ईमान साहबों को भी सुन लें.
ओके सर.
नहीं तो उनको नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग वो शुरू कर लेंगी, और फिर इंशाल्लाह मंडे ट्यूसडे वेडनेसडे 4 days वी विल कंटिन्यू एंड सी हाउ इट गोस.
My lord.
ठीक है जी. थैंक यू वेरी मच. मिस्टर राजत Talha, for the petitioners completed his submissions. Now to come up for submissions of Mr. Tamboli on Monday की तारीख.
थैंक यू.
Thank you. हाँ जी.
Details housing authority versus Musamma